Hello, today I'm going to be showing you some tricks on Photoshop. So first I'm going to open this up. This is my second time recording, so ignore this, but this is what we will be creating. I'm just going to click Create New, and I'm just going to go with the stuff that it's suggesting here. This is standard, and it will create a blank canvas, which this won't really matter because we'll be adding in a file of our own anyways. I just want to point out this RGB color is standard, and this 8-bit is standard for a JPG file, which is what we will be creating. So I'm just going to click Create. So now, as you can see, there is this blank canvas, but I'm going to go ahead and add my own image in. So I click File and Open, and then I'm just going to add in this watercolor set because this activity is the theme is our favorite activity, things that we like to do, and for me, that happens to be watercolor. So now the first thing I'm going to do while I'm in here is I'm going to delete this other file because it's just a blank canvas and we don't need that anymore, and I just want my image. So next, I'm going to go ahead and maximize this. It will go. Is that all it's going to do? Well, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and change the background color. The cool thing about Photoshop today is that we have a few easier ways to do this than you would have in an older version. So first I'm going to click this quick selection tool. I'm going to click here, and like I was saying, the select subject and select and mask are two new tools that this version of Photoshop from 2018 has that several other ones don't. So I'm just going to click select subject, and as you can see, once it goes, it's going to highlight the watercolor set itself. So as you can see, it didn't fully pick up what all I want to Photoshop out, or not out, but I want to change the background color, and so I want to get this as close to the watercolor set as possible. So what I'm going to be using here is the subtract from selection option, and you can also change your brush size, but I'm fine with the 20. So now I'm just going to go in and subtract what it messed up. So as you can see, it kind of understands what I'm trying to do. And I'm just going to subtract all of this, and there we go. So now, right now, the watercolor set itself is highlighted, which I don't particularly want because I'm changing the background. So I'm going to right click and hit select inverse, and so now it's highlighted everything outside of the watercolor set. So now I'm going to use this paint bucket tool and then click over here to the color picker, and I'm going to choose a nice light lavender or lilac color. Let's see, let's go like that, which you can set in your own custom percentages or whatever you want, but I'm just going to go with this. So I'm going to hit OK, and then click out there, and it's going to fill in. So now I'm going to go ahead and deselect this so I can look at it better. As you can see, Photoshop didn't fully color in everything that I wanted. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use the clone stamp tool to fix this. There's many other ways that you could fix this, but I want to go ahead and show you this clone stamp tool as well, as I think it's just a quick way to fix this. I'm going to hit that. So now what's happening is that it needs me to highlight what it's going to copy and then what I'm going to paste on. So what you do is you just hit the Alt key on your computer, and there, now it copied what color or like where I want the Photoshop to pick up. So now I'm just going to go ahead in and start drawing. Now this could be considered very tedious, but I think it's an easy way if you are decent with your mouse to fix this. As you can see, that plus sign is where it's picking up from. So once I get out of here, it's not going to know what to do. So I'm just going to have to re-click and copy a few times so that it knows where to best pick up color from, or whatever you're copying. let's see, click from here. Now you can see it's getting closer to the watercolor set when I was doing that, so I gotta re-pick. Although, let me go from the left side. There we go. Well, there we go. Not sure why I was doing that. Now, I will say that I'm not doing this perfectly because I'm kind of just trying to get through this quick because this is an easy example. If this was a more complicated image, then I probably would have been doing this a different way. Okay, last little bit. Almost done. Alright. So there we go. I'm also going to be using this clone tool to get rid of this brand name in here. So again, I alt click, and there we go. Gotta repick the color. And this is a pretty tedious way to do this. But you can just mess around with the tool to find the best way for you. Almost done. Alright, there we go. So, okay, next I'm going to show you the blur tool, which is over here on the left. This is just standard, as you would guess a blur tool would do. I'm just going to use it to blur out some of these words here on the watercolor tube. Now obviously this is not erasing anything. This is not what this tool is intended to do. I could have erased this. I could have used the clone stamp even, but I'm fine with just blurring this a little bit just to show you how to use that. Okay. I think that's pretty close. Okay. So now that we got that, I'm going to show you how to use the lasso tool. I don't like that this is black, so I'm just going to go ahead and change that color. So with the lasso tool, you just click up here. This is where this is. You can see what it's doing. So I'm going to have to draw a circle. Again, another tedious way to do this. There are other ways to do it, but I think they're a little bit more advanced, so we'll just stick with this. So now I'm going to draw a circle around the outside of here. Actually, okay, no, I don't really like where that picked up actually. So this is where I'm going to go in and edit, and then undo. This edit button is always where you can undo any mistakes that you made. So again, let's redo this. Okay, again, certainly not perfect, but it'll do. I'm going to use that paint fill tool, the paint bucket tool, sorry. Again, I'm just going to go ahead and do maybe a deeper blue color, like a navy. We'll go with that. And hit OK, and fill. Now I'm going to zoom out to see if I like that. Select, I'm going to deselect it. You know, it's not perfect, I'll admit it. I could have gotten a little closer to the edges, but I think that with the overall image you can tell what it did, and I'll stick with that. So the next thing I'm going to do is add a text right over here with this T. I have this font filled in from an earlier project that I did, which I like this font, so I'm just going to stick with it. I'm also going to change my color of my text. I'll just go with that, what was it? A deeper purple color. So now I'm going to type, and I'll just name this watercolor. Okay, and so then you can see that my cursor has this little 4 arrow sign next to it. That is just allowing me to move it around. So I'll stick with that. Okay, so now we got that, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you this pencil tool. I'm going to use it to sign my name. Again, you could change the brush size up here, but I'm fine with this little guy on 3, and I'll just sign my name in the corner. Now, it's asking if it needs, or saying that it must be rasterized, which I'm okay with. This is just going to create it as all one layer. So I'm going to hit OK. Oh no, it didn't do that. I'm sorry, I'm confusing it with the next step that we're about to do. Either way, it's adding another layer for me to go ahead and use this pencil tool. So I'm going to very poorly sign my name. And that'll do. Okay, so there's that. So now the last thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a border. First I'm going to go up here to layer, and I'm going to flatten the image. Now this is what I was saying would create it as one layer. And then I'm going to go to image and canvas size. I'm going to just do 1 in 1. This is going to create a pretty thick 1-inch border, which I am fine with. I'm going to hit OK, and there we go, we got a border. I normally would leave it white, but since we're going to be posting this on the board on Always UC, I think it won't show up very well, so I'm going to go ahead and change this border color, which we're going to do by just doing that paint tool bucket again, and then I'll just stick with that same purple color, and then you just click there. So that's my finished product here. To show you how to save it, we're going to save it. You're going to hit File, Save As. We're going to keep it as this JPEG, the GPG file that I was saying earlier. And I'm just going to rename it Photoshop Challenge. Okay, I'll stick with that 1. And then hit Save and OK. And there we go. I'm going to minimize this. So here, I'm sorry, I did create a file like this before, but this is the one we just did, as you can see. So now I'm just going to go on here, and you go ahead and submit when you finish your assignment. And you should submit the original picture as well as your new photo edited picture. So thank you guys for watching. See you for the next assignment.